Somebody Tuktukon and welcome to the Lao Legacy Podcast. Today we have a special guest for you. Today we're going to dive deep into the power of storytelling, our heritage, and the heart of Khon Lao. So today we are honored to have someone who is a published author. She's a serial entrepreneur. She is kicking butt everywhere she goes because she's an amazing, powerful woman who's empowering others. Everyone, I want you guys to welcome Laura Sanavongsay. Give it up.
Thank you. And thank you all for having me here like Friday, for allowing us to use the space, C3 Lounge here in Vegas. I'm super excited to be here with the Lao Legacy Project and the podcast, launching, kicking off your organization as well as your podcast. So happy to support.
Yes, we appreciate you partnering with us because we are truly grassroots, and every partnership counts. Every kind of support counts. So even if you guys are out there and you guys want to share what we do, share the podcast, come and support our Lao authors. And Laura's going to drop where you could find her book later on today. So stay tuned for that. Laura, tell us a little bit about your book.
Thank you. So Noy Meets Sangdee is a second book of Noy's journey to belonging. And Noy is actually my nickname, which is probably a lot of Lao nickname, right? Because my dad, he calls me Inang Noy. Even though I'm a grandma now, he still calls me Inang Noy. Yes. So
you are not a grandma.
Yes, I'm a grandma of 3. And so even though I'm a grandma, my dad still calls me Inang Noy. So that's how I got my first children's book. And that is also an offspring of my first book, $40 in a Dream, which was published about 5 or 6 years ago. And it was my original book when I learned of our Lao history, and I'm like, oh my goodness, people need to know more about this.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I was almost 35 when I discovered our Lao history. And that sparked something inside of me, because at the time when I learned about my Lao history, our Lao history, I was in shock. And also at the time where I learned about my history, I was making $250,000, $213,000 that year gross, okay? And I felt like God pushed me out of that corporate career to launch this, to do this. Like, so I feel like this is my calling, to go back to my roots and to tell the story. So that's when I decided to walk away. To wait my 2-week notice at my corporate job after being there for 5 years. I said, I'm out of here, I gotta go, I have a calling. So that's when I wrote my first book and published it. I said, I'm gonna do all the classes I need to speed up and become an author, speaker, whatever I have to do to become that person so that I can share our story with the world. Because if I didn't know, and this is my own story, I'm just like, imagine how many other people do not know about our Lao history. So it really dawned on me with my first book when I started to go on my speaking engagements, and sometimes in a crowd of 400 people or more, I would ask, who knows what Laos is? Maybe 4 people raised their hand.
That's my experience too.
Yes, perfect example. On my way here on the Vegas airport, I had a lady checking me in Chicago when I was coming to Vegas, and she was checking me in with my ID and stuff, and she looked at my name, and she's like, oh, what kind of name? You know, where are you from? And I said, I'm from Laos. Oh, where island is that from, in Hawaii? And I said, no, Laos. And I said, it's Southeast Asia, around like Cambodia, next to Thailand. Oh, say that. I said, I shouldn't have to say that. She's like, oh, well, you should have say that, you know. And then she's like, oh, what do you do? She's seen the elephants in my luggage, and she's like, oh, what do you do? And I said, oh, I'm an author, and this is my elephants to go with my children's book. I'm on my way to a book launch signing. And she's like, oh, what do you write about? I said, I write about Laos, so people like you can know where we are and not think we're in Hawaii.
That's right.
So she's like, oh, I'm going to go get your book.
Yeah.
So that's why I started my first book. And then I knew that we needed to get the children to learn too.
Oh,
which is
yep, I
why
agree.
that sparked my interest in doing a children's version of my first book. So my children's version, the first one is Noy's Journey to Belonging. So it's also on Amazon. So Noy's Journey to Belonging is actually my story of, being born homeless and with my brothers, my sister-in-law cooking with Nana. You guys all know her. I'm the long-lost sister. So, it's about our journey coming to America. Again, it's Noy's Journey to Belonging. It's about how we as Lao Americans had to go through the bullying and finding our roots, right? And finding where do we belong in America, right? And so Noy's Journey to Belonging is a little girl, that's me, and my experience growing up, being a Lao American, and the bullying and things that I had to go through. And so then I thought, well, let's do a book where it's for a little bit younger crowd. Like that one is more for the younger one. So I'm like, let me share our story. Now the adults have it. Now the older teens, preteens, the younger youths have it. And now the little kids can know about our story, which is why it sparked my interest to do Noy Meets Sangdee.
Well, Laura, I think you touch on a very key thing that a lot of our children and even us adults are trying to navigate, right? Our identity, the sense of belonging. And I think we touched base on this a little bit in our podcast, which is here where some of us may be American born or received our citizenship here, coming from Laos. But we've assimilated into America so well that when we are Lao, like in America, we're just too American, but then when we are trying to connect with our community and our elders, we're too American. We're not Lao enough.
We're not Lao enough. And that's basically what I went through, and in the adult version of my book, I do share that a lot in there about growing up in a Lao household and not being Lao enough, and then also being too Americanized, then your Lao community ends up turning against you, which is the experience that I ended up having as a teenager. I experienced that big time.
Go through that.
Oh yeah, it was terrible. But it was 30 years ago. Times have changed now, but I was probably one of the first ones in the community to date outside the race, especially Kondam, and so everybody's like bullying me and stuff in the Lao community. The kids that I grew up with couldn't even talk to me anymore.
Aww,
and so at that time, and even my own mother, like she was also, and little did I know until I grew up, that they're dealing with their own mental health issues back then, right? And so I didn't realize that. And so even my own mom, was bullying, like basically disowning me because I was too kidu and stuff, because I just wanted to belong somewhere.
For those of you who don't know, kidu is bad, like a menace.
That led me to a very dark path because the love wasn't there. I didn't feel the love in my community. I feel the love at the home. So I ended up running away to Kansas City, and I wanted to live with my Lao uncle, and he said yes at first, so I took all my bags, went to live with him. He's like, oh no, you can't live here now, you ran away. I was like, oh God, so I'm not going back home, I'll just be homeless than to go back to what I came from.
Right.
And so I was taken in by a black mother who then raised me during my teenage years. And so, but that pivotal point in my life really transformed who I am, because I finally felt the love from a stranger. I finally felt the love, and because our Lao community is so traumatized, it's like we don't show affection, we don't show public display of affection, we don't tell our kids we love you. So coming from the opposite, right, coming from a Lao household to the difference, like you're in a black household, my mom, Asanya, she's just like, you are beautiful, I love you, I embrace you. So you go from sticky rice and beef jerky to now like, oh baby, these are just greens, throw some hot sauce on there. Like, okay, Mama Asanya, So then, I was living in the inner cities of Kansas City. I grew up in an all-black school, so ended up adapting to the culture and stuff. But it really set me straight. And it got me on track, and I finally went and came back home so I could show everybody. They thought that I was going to be a high school dropout. They thought that I was not going to graduate high school. I came back home and I graduated in front of everybody.
Wow.
And you know, in our Lao community, graduating high school is a big thing.
It is.
So they thought I was going to be a high school
makes it through.
Not everybody makes it to graduate high school.
No.
So it's like a huge thing. So I'm like, okay, I'm coming back home so that I can graduate in front of my haters. So I did it. And then the ironic thing about fast forward 360 nowadays, my business, I have 7 suites there and like 5 businesses in one suite across the street from the same high school.
Wow.
That they told me I was going to be a high school dropout.
Wow.
They told me my future was a lost cause. They told me I was going to grow up to be broke and poor. And so that I'm like, now my business is like right across. That's the whole irony of that.
Yes.
Back in the town where they disown me.
Yes, well, I mean, one of the greatest payback is
Yeah.
for you to live your life and to succeed and to
Absolutely.
be able to flourish, right,
Absolutely.
in the face of adversity.
Yes.
So that's
Over
very
and over
amazing.
again.
A theme that I heard
Yeah.
you saying is the power of words.
Yes. Yeah.
Even within like the Lao community, how we use our words.
Absolutely.
How that impacted how you
Yes.
thought about yourself.
Absolutely.
The judgment, the
Yes,
shaming,
yes.
but now you have an
Yeah.
opportunity to do something with
Yeah.
the power of words.
Absolutely.
You are doing it through the power of storytelling.
Absolutely.
So
Yes.
tell us a little bit more about your book.
Yeah.
And just a little bit more. I want to know a little bit more about Noy.
Noy?
Like, what is she up to? Who is she?
Yes. Noy is the younger version of me.
Uh-huh.
So I live vicariously through Noy. So Noy gets to experience culture.
Is she Kidu as well?
Noy, you know what? I was so kidu as a little kid. They called me Ina Ngo. Because, you know, when your face is crooked, because I was always crying and crunched up. So, but Noy is fun. Noy's very fun. You know, she was the youngest child of 2 older brothers who would bully her.
Oh, wow.
Don't tell my brothers. Noy and Ali Sock. No. Used to lock me up in the basement. They bullied me. Okay, can't. No. But Noy was still, you know, she's a fun, loving, charismatic little girl who loves adventure. And so Noy, you know, she meets this elephant and she ends up making friends with the elephant. And I had designed elephant plushie to go with my Lao Noy dolls.
Look at how precious this elephant is.
Thank you. So that's Sangdee, which Sangdee in Lao means the good elephant. So Noy meets a good elephant. They become friends, inseparable. And then Noy and Sangdee exchange the Lao language. So what I really love about the book is that, you know, a lot of people, not just the Lao culture, but a lot of people love elephants is what I learned when I made the elephant. Like, people have like elephant fetish or love for elephant. I don't know if fetish is the right word, but
Some people do.
yeah,
You
you never know. But it's universal, and I
Yeah.
felt like this book is universal. And when I had the first person, you know, at my salon suite, it was
Yeah.
one of the customers, and one of my braider in my salon suite, her daughter saw Noy, the elephant. She wouldn't let it go. She's like, this is mine, I want it. So I'm like, yeah, so she's like, did not want to let it go. And you'll see it on my Facebook, you know, I have a video of her. She did not want to let it go. And then she took the elephant to the salon. Inside the room, there was a client getting her hair done. And she brought the book to the client. And the client started reading the book to her.
Yeah.
So now she's learning the Lao language.
Okay.
So they're learning the language, right? So that's what I love. Like, it's just bringing culture together, and it's also bringing awareness of who we are.
Yes.
So that way I don't have to run into
That's
anybody.
right. Like saying,
who
like,
is
Laos
Lao?
is
Yeah.
between these two countries
Right.
that look like a tree.
Right, and
That's
they're like-
usually how I explain it. It's between Thailand
I'm
and
like, when you
Vietnam,
say
and it's in the shape of a
Thailand,
tree.
Yeah, they're like, oh, well, start with that. No, I don't want to start with that. I want you to know
Right.
who we are, Laos.
Yeah.
We're in the country called Laos.
Yes.
And
Yep.
so I said, look it up.
Google people.
Like, go Google it. It's the heaviest bomb
We're on
country
there
in the
now.
history of the world per capita.
Yes.
So yeah, so that's what I want people to know, you know.
That's beautiful. I
Yeah.
think that's wonderful that you're using your experiences and your adversity to really share with others. One, your story is just not about, you know, making it through tough times in life.
Yes.
Falling short and finding yourself back up on your feet. But it's also a story that's weaved into like your Lao identity.
Yeah.
And I think there's so much beauty in that.
Yes.
And speaking of beauty, you guys, isn't this woman gorgeous?
Aw.
Look at her. Look. Show your outfit.
Thank you.
Like stand up.
Thanks
stand
to my
up.
stylist over
Stand
there.
up. There you go. Look at this. Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks to my
Yes.
beautiful stylist.
Look at this. Hey.
Hey, thank
know.
you.
And she has 3 grandkids. Look at that.
4 kids, 3 grandkids. I'm
Yes.
busy. Yeah.
You
That's why I have to
sure
have all these different multiple streams of income. I got a whole family to take care of, and I'm a widow, so I'm by myself taking care of a family of 7. Yeah.
So I got some fun questions for you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call this like a quick fire round, right?
Okay.
Some fun questions about
Okay.
Noy and Sangdee.
Yes.
So, if Noy and Sangdee were to go on another adventure, anywhere in Laos,
Oh, in Laos.
yeah, where would they go?
Ooh.
What would be their next adventure?
I think if they were to be anywhere in Laos, I want to go back to like the footsteps of where me and my family were, right? So my family is from Bantasano. So
Wow.
like around the Savannah Cape area. So my dad actually moved back there, so he's been living there now for the
Wow.
last few years. But I would like to travel where my family was, right?
Right.
Where did my father grow up?
Like
Where did my
follow their
mom
trail.
grow up? And
Yeah.
then, what happened around that time? Like, I want to know what happened, because you hear some of the stories now. When I did my second book, The Secret War Within Us, I interviewed 11 Lao refugee women
Oh, wow.
that, for the first time, shared their story.
My goodness.
And so to think about this heart-wrenching stories that they shared with me, and it was I still have videos of it, so eventually I will piece it up and turn it into clips that you guys can use. But they share how they escaped,
Wow.
how they had to drug their kids so
Yeah.
that the communists can't hear them, to the refugee camp. Some of them remember as a young child, their kids, seeing the horrible things. One of the person I interviewed said that she thought it was a baby doll in the dumpster, but it was a baby,
Oh,
a dead baby. So like,
wow.
I wouldn't,
goodness.
I don't know if I would have them travel there. They would see all the good parts. But like, that's a really good story for, us to continue
Yeah.
to share those stories of the untold stories of the Lao refugee
Yes.
women that has shared with me.
Yeah.
So it's like 11 stories of how they
Yeah.
had to escape and
And
what
those-
they saw and what they went through and all of that.
And those women are brave because what I've often experienced when I'm trying to speak to an elder is that they do not like to speak about their experiences.
No.
There's so much trauma
A
and
lot.
hurt and pain that's associated with their experience coming from like Laos to America.
Yeah.
That it's so painful to relive.
Yeah.
So we never get the full story of like the history and the journey of our people coming here.
They were very brave, and also, there's fear. They've
Yep.
always lived in fear. Even with my dad, when I learned about our history, it was on accident.
Yeah.
It was because my late husband, at the time, he was taking an elective class at his college, and he had a class that he had to write about, do interview with someone from out of the country. And of course, he turned to me like, I got to learn about you. And I'm like, well, I don't know my history. I don't know my story. I guess I better find out. That led to me calling my dad.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, Dad, Speak up. Why are we here? What are we doing
What's going
here?
on? What's
Besides
going
the
on?
fact that we just came here for a better life. That's all we
Yep.
hear when growing up. Oh, we just came here for a better life. That's all we hear. We don't hear anything else.
Right.
So I said I had to write a book. I had to, do this interview. He didn't say anything. He got really quiet. He's like, what do you want to know? And then he gave me a phone number. This is what really opened my eyes. It was a phone number to a sponsor from 35 years ago.
Wow.
A
My
lady
goodness.
that was part of the church that sponsored us, that I hadn't
Yep.
talked to
Yep.
35 years.
Wow.
I was 2 when I first came. Call this number. Like, oh, it's 35 years. Is she even going to answer? So I called the number, and it was a lady named Jane. And I said, hi, Jane. This is the little girl, Nipapan, like that you rescued or something. I
By the
don't
way,
know.
that's her Lao name.
My Lao
you
name
guys.
is Nipapan. And she's got like, she's like almost crying, right? Like she hadn't heard from me in 35 years. And she's just like, Nipapan. She was like, well, let me go into my attic and let me see what I could find. So she said, give me some time. I'm going to mail you what I have. So she went in her attic, and 7 days later, I literally sat in my living room with this big packet of information, like envelope, in a manila envelope, sitting spread out in my living room.
Wow.
I'm pulling pieces of my history.
Girl, you got me at the suspense.
My homeless picture of like, it was like a original newspaper clippings, 2 of them.
Oh my goodness.
2 newspaper clippings, our refugee letter from the correspondence between the church and the refugee, the worldwide
the
refugee.
agency?
Yes,
Yeah.
the whole original letter
Wow.
of why we need to sponsor the Lao people, because they was desperately in need
Yeah.
and overcrowded and all of this. Why they picked us. Like everything was in here,
Yeah.
and how we dressed when we came here, like all the way down to the details. It was in the middle of winter, 1979, when Chicago had the worst snowstorm, and me, my brothers, my mom and dad, we came in with only one bag, a tank top, or shorts, sandals in the middle of winter.
Oh my goodness.
And the church, they wrote about it, and they're like, we had to bring sweaters to cut the winter chill because they came just with their belongings,
Yeah,
and that's
whatever
it.
they had on
That's
and
why
what
my book was called $40 and a Dream.
Man.
Because we came with just the $40
Right.
that the refugee committee gave to my father.
Wow.
So coming to America with just $40 and a dream, that's how I ended up naming my book. So of course I get all of this stuff, and I still have questions, right? And so I called my dad. I'm like, you gotta come over here. It was like, I gave him some time, right? So I said, you need to come over here. And so for something else, I tricked him to come over.
Dad, we need answers.
Yeah, so I tricked him to come over, and then when
Mana bikin cow.
yeah, come and eat. I need something fixed. So
That's
he
how you
came,
get him.
he showed up. So then, so I sat him down. I said,
Yeah.
look at this. I said, I need answers.
Yeah.
I hit record. I interviewed him for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And that he
wow.
choked up so many times telling the story, because he's reliving the moments where he was watching people get killed, where he almost got killed, where he was telling me a story of how he was captured, his brothers were captured, one of my uncles being buried alive in front of the villagers. They made 500 people like come and watch as they made my uncle dig his own grave.
Oh my
Shot him from the
goodness.
back. He landed inside. They
Oh
put
my goodness.
They let him smoke his last cigarette. They put the dirt over him.
Oh
The
my
other uncle
goodness.
was used as target practice, and then they killed him that way.
Oh
my
my
dad was the only one out of the brothers that made it out alive, right?
Wow.
So he choked up a few times when he was telling that, because when they were captured, he said he ran into his younger brother, and they didn't know which one was going to come out alive.
Wow.
And so he said they exchanged hugs, and then he gave his brother his watch, because he's like, if I don't come out alive, I want you to have my watch.
Wow.
But his brother didn't make it. So my dad, he showed me even the the cave where they put him in, held hostage in a cave. And it's still there till this day.
Wow.
It was a bombed out mountain.
Oh my goodness.
Where they bombed the mountain, inside the mountain where his bed was sitting there. And he said that he played it cool, made them trust him, played played along with it.
Yep.
So then they trusted him and brought him out to a less secured area. So now he's a security guard for Vientiane, the capital.
Yeah.
So he was able to go in and out now.
Yeah.
So then because of that, he befriended a civilian. And that's how he escaped, because they made a fake ID. They plotted his whole escape.
Wow.
And then he was able to reunite with my mom after 2 years.
Netflix, you need to come and call this girl. You need to call this girl, please.
We're working on that.
I'm over here sitting at the edge of my chair like,
we're working on that.
What else? What happened?
We're
What
working
happened?
on that. It's coming. Working on that. It's coming.
Paramount.
Whew. So yeah,
Amazon.
it's crazy. Yeah, he had choked up a few times telling me the story.
Wow.
So that's why I was able to get the content for my first book.
Yeah.
So it's like my memoir of the things that he shared with me, along with what I experienced as well.
Wow, that is, I mean, just I could see the grace. And like it's also like the redemption story, right?
Have you guys seen the Lao Redemption?
I have not yet.
On YouTube, it's free.
Ooh,
It's free on you. I was part of that.
Dropping us a freebie,
I
y'all.
was part of the movie project. I don't know if you guys have seen that. It's called the Lao Redemption movie. It's right on YouTube. It's about 7 CIA agents that went undercover to find out who initiated the bombings on Laos.
Wow.
It's free to watch. It's right on YouTube. And I was the refugee person in there. But then so I'm in a little bits of parts, but I mainly helped with the behind the scenes. But yeah, and the president is on there. It's actually President Obama actually played a character in there.
Hey, my mind's blown.
So go and look. This guy, he's actually an actor that looks just like Obama. And he's Puerto Rican, but he looks just like Obama, acts like Obama. So he played Obama.
Yeah.
And the reason Obama's role was significant in that movie is because in real life, Obama was actually the first sitting president to go back to Laos to acknowledge the bombings on our country.
Yeah.
So we actually showed like the footage of the speech that he did at the end. Yeah.
And that's a piece of Lao history that a lot of us don't even know, right? And so there's, for a lot of us, we may not even be in tune with like our roots or history, right?
Yeah.
We eat the food.
Yeah.
We speak Lao English, but we lack the things that connects the dots for us. And so I think what's so wonderful here is that with like the Lao Legacy Project, that's pretty much what we are about, is trying to preserve our heritage, promote our culture, and so that those things don't get lost in the mix, because we're all, we're all a mixed bag here in America, and so we want to keep our heritage alive through all the different things that we do.
Yes.
So, I have to ask one more question, because, Con Lao, we love when we get together, right? What do we love to do?
Eat.
We love to eat. And guess where we're at, you guys? We are at C3 Lounge. Thank you, Friday.
Yes. Woo! Come eat some delicious Lao food.
So, question for Noy and Sangdee.
Yep.
If they were here at C3 Lounge, what do you think they would pick from the menu?
They definitely have to do the thumb.
Ooh,
with the platter. They got to do the platter. A little bit of different thumb. And, all that.
With the Lao sausage.
Oh, yeah. Everything. Look, I got some friends here. Look, they're addicted. They got the thumb over there. They got the thumb thing. Yeah, they got the thumb thing over there.
Everybody's like,
See. They're addicted to the thumb.
One of the wonderful Lao dishes. This is cucumber. So one of the Lao dishes is papaya salad, which is made out of papaya, right? So this here is made out of cucumber.
Yes.
So this is called the makdang.
The makdang.
And you got to pick your, what are the spicy levels every Friday?
It is from 1 to whatever you want.
Yeah.
I think I came here one time and I thought 5 was like a medium. Oh no,
Yes,
sir.
absolutely.
No. My mouth was burning.
Yes.
But
yes.
tell us now. Tell us where can everyone out there who wants to support Lao authors and help the Lao Legacy Project with or mission to preserve or heritage, where can they find your book? Where can they get this wonderful cute elephant?
They can always follow me. I'm on Facebook and Instagram. Feel free to DM me.
We're gonna drop that for you
Laura
guys.
Empowers on Instagram or Facebook. You can follow me there. And then it has all the links to like my different websites and everything that I do. But that's the best way to find me is Instagram or Facebook. That's how I met John.
All of us.
All of you, like we just met in person for the first time.
Yes.
So that would be the
This
best.
is history in the making, you guys.
Yes,
You
and
guys are
and
witnessing it.
eventually, like I would love to see more Lao authors because there's more stories inside of each one of us. And as a business coach, I do help people become published authors. Actually, we've got 2 of them sitting over there. They're now published authors. So that's one of the things that I do is help others become authors and tell their stories as well.
She said that's one of the things that she does. Just one.
It's one of the
now, what are the other 20 other things that you do? Let us know, because this girl is on. She's on a whole different level. Okay?
So I'm an author, speaker, coach. I'm a grandmother full time. I have custody of my grandkids, 2 of my grandkids. Everybody lives pretty much at home, except for one of my daughters. I'm also owner of Beautiful Potential Consulting, which is the business that God had placed in my heart when I did leave my company. So I've been doing that business since, and it's basically be you to full potential. Is when you break it down, it's helping others find their potential, right? Because a lot of times we lose that. We lose that, whatever trauma we went through, whatever it is. So my role, my job as a business coach, as a coach, is to help bring that out of them. So Beautiful Potential is a little bit of mixture of everything: beauty, branding, and business coaching. So like the beauty side, that's actually my VP over there of Beautiful Potential.
Hey, VP.
Yes, and then we have Carlotta, which helps with the designing. She's a CEO of King's Clothing, which she is also a New York featured designer in New York fashion, LA, Chicago. She's international featured designer, stylist. And so the beauty side, I have the beauty salon suite. I have the like the beauty education.
Wow.
I have the beauty supply store.
Oh my goodness.
All in there, and so we're in the middle of building our beauty school in there as well.
Wow.
So then
you were busy.
Yeah, the branding side is all together, right? If you think of beauty, fashion, media, right? Like all that is all
Everything
together
that,
because when the clients come to our place, they're getting all made up to go on camera. So it's like the
like
media.
a one-stop shop.
Because then we have the media studio where we help with the branding, where we help with websites, graphics, social media, and help coach them through all those things. And then, of course, the business side is helping my clients overcome the barriers that stop them from getting to that next level success. So
wow.
Yeah.
That is beautiful potential.
you.
I love it. I love it. Lao women doing awesome, mighty, wonderful things.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for giving us your time and sharing so much of yourself, your story, your family story, the story of the women that you had talked about and their refugee story, and allowing us to have an opportunity, a piece of legacy right here.
Yeah, thank you.
You know, so we really do appreciate it on behalf of the Lao community.
Yes.
I want to say
Aw.
thank you. We appreciate
My
you.
pleasure.
We
Thank
want to see
you
more
for
of you.
having
We
me.
want to support you, and we want to
you.
see our community grow.
I love
and thanks
it.
for being a part of
Love
that.
it. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Look out for my next book.
That's right, go. Look out for our next book.
Next one is gonna be for Women Empowerment Month. I'm actually gonna do the pre-sales next month during Women Empowerment Month, but it's actually gonna launch in May. I always launch my books in May every year because it's, you know, Asian American,
So bookmark
Pacific
that, you
Islander
guys.
Month.
Mark
It's
your calendars,
also,
May.
what else is in May? It's like Asian American, Pacific Islander Month. It's minority mental health month, and it's my birthday month. So that's why I usually start out like launch in May, but the pre-sales will be Women's International History Month is next month. And so my next book is Empowered Purpose. I'm built from the scars that tried to break me.
Ooh.
So it's gonna be multiple chapters of every single scars, every single thing that tried to break me that built me to who I am. And so that's going to be a women empowerment.
Look, we're gonna need a Lifetime movie on Laura over here. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure. Thank you all for having me.
Yes. So guys, that's a wrap for today's episode. And please remember that our legacy is built one story at a time. So please be brave, be courageous, and don't be afraid to tell your story.
Yes.
Ooh.